I will tell you, though, that I did not handle the breakup well. She was, in fact, the first breakup, like real. She was my first true love. I'll just say it. She was my first true love. And I did not handle it well. You're supposed to have your heart broken when you're like 12. When you have your first crush. That's when you're supposed to have your first heartache, not in your 40s. It's supposed to be when you're young, when you're little, when you're resilient, you know? You're like, you realize it's not going to work out, so you're devastated. No! And yeah. Not when you're in your 40s. So without divulging too much information, let me just tell you that when everything was finalized, I was at the gas station and I got a text message basically saying, everything's been signed, it's official, it's turned in. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. I get in the car, I start the car, and then I put it in drive. And that's when it hit. That's when it became real. That's when it was like, oh my God, I can no longer go home. That's no longer an option. I have messed things up. I can no longer go back to what I called home. I have to restart my life right then and there at the gas station. And I had a full-blown meltdown. And some of you know that my tour came to an end a while back, and people were wondering, is it drugs, is it alcohol, is it mental health? I was going through my first breakup. How was I supposed to be an effective comedian when I couldn't stop crying? You know what I mean? It was like, it was bad. And you guys have heard the shows before. You know I never bring this up. It was the lowest point of my life. I had never felt so sad, weak, vulnerable, depressed, lonely, everything all rolled into one. And it was at the lowest point of my life that I found that's right, country music. Country music knows when you're sad. Country music knows when you're weak. Country music knows when you're vulnerable and you need something to fill the void. I used to fight off country music. I used to look at country music in the face and tell country, you could take your ache, you break your heart, you keep on moving. But not today. Let me tell you what's going on. I'm in the car and I'm crying so much. My tears are rolling down my cheek and they're blending with my snot. They're blending with my mocos. My tears are blending with my mocos and then blending with my babas, with my drool. I have 3 different fluids coming out of my face at the same time. My neck looked like menudo. It was bad. All I needed was a pinche limón y cebolla. That's it, right there. I am making ugly sounds, and I don't want to hear myself, so I turn on the stereo, and I started hitting buttons, and it lands on the country station. And I knew immediately that it was country music I was listening to, and I did not try to change the station, because I figured, you know what? I deserve to suffer more for the mistakes I made and the people I hurt. So I let it play and play and play and play. I listened to country music for over an hour, and I came to this conclusion. Country music has at least one song that will speak to your heart directly because you feel like the artist wrote the song specifically about you and your life because of how detailed the songs are. Oh yeah, my hat's off to country music singers and artists. You guys, you know how to do something very well, and it's not till you experience a certain time of your life that it makes sense. I'm in that car bawling, and all of a sudden on the radio I hear this. It's been 7 days since you seen her. How does he know it's been 7 days since I've seen her? You just can't get her off your mind. 'Cause every little thing that you do or say is another reason you pushed her away. And now you're sitting in your car all alone. What does he do? Make it stop! And it doesn't stop. It keeps kicking you on the ground, reminding you what a piece of crap you are. You should have gone home and locked the door, but you was outside being a whore. And now you're sitting in your car all alone. I have a bus driver named Dave who has never received any credit, and he's been working for me for almost 10 years now. This man has successfully gotten me to every single comedy show on time without fail. If I had to describe him to you, okay? Dave looks like the word America. Not America, America. He's about 6 feet tall, he's white, he has a gray beard, and he wears a trucker hat. And he's gotta be one of the most hardworking people I have ever met. Now, when I say hardworking, hey, I'm on the road 46 weeks out of the year, so I know. Difference is, I fly home every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Dave stays on that bus and he gets it to the next city where we meet him. He works anniversaries, holidays, special moments. Christmas time, I was with my family. Dave was driving that bus on the East Coast. New Year's, I was with my family. Dave was on the East Coast driving that bus. One of the hardest working people I've ever met. I just want to give him a shout out. In addition to being hardworking, he's very honest. Now, when I say honest, I don't mean, oh, he does his taxes right. I mean painfully honest, no filter honest. He talks the way people used to. He does not have time to mince words. He just calls it like he sees it. Before me, he used to work with a man by the name of Kenny G. Grammy Award winner, amazing, amazing music. One day, Kenny G was on his tour bus that Dave was driving, and I guess the two of them had a little discussion, and Kenny G used some words that Dave would have rather him not have used, and instead of getting into it with him, this is what Dave does. Kicked Kenny G off of his own bus. Because he would rather lose his job than lose his self-respect. And that's the man I work with. He's a bad dude. You guys are clapping, but you should have seen the interview. Oh man, it was a good one. He looks at me and he says, hey, let's get one thing straight. I don't give a who you are. You treat me right, I'll treat you right. You pay me on time, you'll live. Not to mention the fact that he keeps that tour bus squeaky clean. And he takes a lot of pride in that as well. One night, I was drinking on the bus, and I go to put my cup down, and I missed the table, and the cup hit the floor. I didn't get up right away to get the cup, because I figured I'm gonna get up in a couple minutes and make myself another drink. I'll pick up the cup then. Dave sees the cup on the floor, and then he looks at me and says, hey, I ain't your mama, pick that shit up. I get to the back of the bus and I'm like, wait a minute, I pay him. Hey, Dave, shut up. Yeah, I'll be in the back in my room. Thank you. Drive safe. And people tell me, you work with a man who talks that way to you? Why? Let me tell you why. Because he's honest. With Dave, you know exactly what you get. Nowadays, it is so hard for me to tell who's being genuine and who has an agenda. And with him, you know exactly where you stand. If he likes you, he loves you. And if not, you're on the curb with Kenny G. That being said, I have a story to share. About 1.5 years ago, maybe longer, we're on the bus and we're heading down the highway. Just so you have kind of an understanding of the bus layout, let's say this is the front. Here's Dave, the driver, empty seat, and then a sliding door that goes in between him and the rest of the tour bus. My buddy Alfred and I are in the living room portion and we're watching TV. We're watching the news. And on the news, there's this person who is running for some type of office. No particular office. And I guess their big plan is to erect a structure between two bodies of land. Somewhere. And I guess they want one side of the structure to finance the entire project. Well, my buddy Alfred and I, we have a lot of family that works in construction, and we know a bad job when we see one. So we started to voice our opinion out loud about how we felt about this person and what they wanted to do. We're being very loud. So loud, Dave can hear us. And then we hear Dave. America. I yell out to Dave. I said, "Be quiet, Dave. This isn't about you." He taps a button on the dashboard that activates the sliding door. And when the door's about that far from closing, he yells out, "I'm building a wall." I couldn't even get upset because I was too much in shock over the fact that that came out of someone 4 feet away from me. My buddy Alfred and I, we look like chickens. We're like... My cell phone goes off. I take out my phone, and there's a text message from Dave. And I said, "That's right, he better say I'm sorry. He better say just kidding." I open up the text message, and it says, "And you're paying for it." And people tell me, "You still work with him after that?" Yes, I do. I trust that man with my life every single night. I know where his heart's at. He can say whatever he wants. At the end of the day, he still has to drive around the king of the Mexicans. It's funny, baby. And that's another thing that's changed, you guys. My son Frankie is now 18 years old and 1 week away from graduation. You guys are clapping, but he's not leaving. I've already asked him, I said, "Frankie, what do you want to do with your life?" "Have you thought about college?" "Just now." I'm like, "Frankie, you do realize that all you need to do is get accepted. I tell a lot of jokes. I will pay for your entire college education no matter where you want to go. As long as you get accepted." What do you think about that? I said, "You know, if you want to go to school in California, we'll make it happen. You want to go to school out of state, we'll make it happen." I said, "Hell, I'll even do one of those international programs. You know, the ones where you give them one of your children and then they give you one of their children? What is it called when you kid swap?" Thank you. Sorry. That's right. Exchange. Some of you are like, "That's called human trafficking." Different program. I would love to do an exchange program with my son, but don't give me a regular kid. If I'm gonna do an exchange program, give me a kid from like a hardcore third world country so that he appreciates all the basic things most American children take for granted. That's why I say, give me little Tombutu. Give me Tombutu. I would love Tombutu, and Tombutu would love me.
Mr. Fluffy,
Yes, Tombutu.
I was wondering, what time do we go to sleep?
You go to sleep whenever you like. This is your room. We sleep next door. All of this is for Tombutu? Yes, all of this is for Tombutu.
In my village, 2 families sleep in an area this big.
Well, here in America, one big-ass Mexican kid sleeps right here. Enjoy. And then I would take him to like IHOP or Denny's and let him order whatever he wants and just watch him lose it. You know?
This is the Thanksgiving I heard of. Thank you, Mr. Fluffy. Thank you. If there is anything Tombuto can do for you, please tell me. Anything.
Can you help me take out the trash?
For you, I will eat the trash.
Meanwhile, my son's on the other side of the world on top of an elephant trying to get Wi-Fi. In 1987, I had a thing called a Nintendo Entertainment System, okay? Nintendo Entertainment System. It didn't last 4 years. It lasts 90 days. 90 days is what it took for you to hit power and start seeing a flashing red screen. You know the flashing red screen where you have to look at the ground or look away or you have a seizure right then and there? Oh, yeah. And then what you had to do is you had to flip the Nintendo over and there was a silver sticker with an 800 number on it. And you call the 800 number and they put you in contact with someone in Japan who made you feel like a pendejo. Oh yeah, he made you feel stupid. You call him up and he's like, it costs $250 to repair Nintendo. $250 to fix it, but it's $150 for a brand new one. And if you couldn't afford $150 for a brand new one, like we couldn't afford $150 for a brand new one, you had to become a technician at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And speaking of whores, let me tell you where they put us up at. That's a bad segue. No, there's no whores at this hotel. Listen. I would like to personally thank the promoters for not only making this special happen, but for taking really good care of us. They put us at a hotel that's right across the street, you guys. And you know you're in a good hotel when you get inside of the elevator and it talks. It's one of those, you know.
First floor. Second floor. Third floor.
I'm like, man, she sounds hot.
Fourth floor. Fifth floor.
Oh, yeah. Martin asked me, how far are you going up? I said, all the way. I gotta see how this ends, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. And by the way, you guys, since the last time we were here, I've had a few things change in my life. Some things happened that were so crazy that I couldn't even believe that it was a possibility. First thing that happened was I had my first ever celebrity death hoax, meaning that someone faked my death on the internet and it went viral. Someone wrote an amazing article that was read by over 30 million people that was so good, even I was like, oh my God, I was so nice. TMZ reported it for 30 minutes until they called my publicist and confirmed that I was still alive. The article said that I had died October 31st from complications of type 2 diabetes. And in my head, I'm thinking to myself, that's a hell of a day to kill a diabetic. You know what I mean? That's like killing Santa on Christmas Eve. 30 million people read this article. No one thought to call me. Except Martin. That's right. Martin was the only one that called me. And I think that was just to verify that he still had employment. I got that phone call. Hello? Martin was like, hey, you dead? No, man, I'm good. I figured you would have texted me. And I would have, because that's the kind of friend I am, you know? I even asked my son Frankie, I said, Frankie, did you hear I died?
that's what they meant. I go, what do you mean that's what they meant? Well, my friends were asking if you were okay. I go, what'd you tell them? I hadn't seen you.
I thought it would be great if I could tell an old story that was from years ago that never made it to a 1-hour special. And the cool part about this story is that it now has a different ending. The story is called The Gift Basket. Some of you know it, some of you don't know it, but after this, you're never gonna forget it. All you have to know about this story is that all the people involved have always been and will continue to be friends. That being said, Martin and I, all the good ones start like that. Martin and I are scheduled to perform in Northern California. Usually we fly, but this particular day I was having a problem with Southwest Airlines. They wanted me to pay for an extra seat for someone who wasn't traveling with me. Take your time, you'll figure it out. Anyway, I tell Martin, I'm not paying for an extra seat. Let's just drive, it's 6 hours. So we headed north. 3 hours into the drive, we're passing through a city called Fresno. And as we're passing, hey, Fresno 559, get us away. Anyway, as we're passing through Fresno, we start seeing billboards off the side of the freeway that said, performing this weekend at the Radisson Hotel. Directly from BET's Comic View and Showtime at the Apollo, comedian G. Riley. And I look at Martin, I go, oh shoot, G's in town. And Martin goes, yeah, I haven't seen G in years. So we're like, let's stop by the hotel and say hi. So we pull into the parking lot. We walk in. I tell Martin, he doesn't know we're here. I'm gonna crank call his room. He goes, what are you gonna say? I said, I'm gonna tell him that I'm the front desk and that he just received a gift basket. He goes, what's so funny about a gift basket? I said, I'm gonna describe it over the phone. And I'm gonna make all the items that are in this imaginary basket become items that stereotypically a black person might like. But you're crazy. I said, I'll tell you what, we got 2 hours to kill. How about this? How about we go to the supermarket and we make an actual racist gift basket? And we'll have it delivered and we'll wait outside to see what happens. I said, are you down? We go to a store and we start to design the sickest practical joke ever. I get a shopping cart and I'm like, all right, we need a basket. So I find one, I take out the grass, the plastic eggs, and the chocolate rabbits, and we start hitting the aisles. First item I grab is a fried chicken about that big, okay? See how quick that laugh was? There's a few black people in here like, mother, this better be funny. It's hysterical. Let me just finish the story and then you could judge me in the parking lot. So anyway, then Martin hands me a miniature watermelon and I put it next to the fried chicken. Here's where it gets interesting. Employees of the store find out what we're doing and they start volunteering to help us finish the basket. Half of the employees were black, which made it so much more accurate. Aisle after aisle. One guy was stocking a shelf. He was an older white guy, and we're like, sir, can you help us? What do you need? My buddy Martin and I are trying to make this messed up racist gift basket for our black friend as a practical joke. Can you think of something we can put in there? Without even blinking an eye, the guy was like, you gotta have Kool-Aid. It's at the end of the aisle on the right. Malt liquors and XL over in the back of the store in the freezer section. It's on sale 2 for $1. By the time we get to the register, all these different employees plus us came up with the basket that had fried chicken, watermelon, Kool-Aid, grape soda, barbecue potato chips, sunflower seeds, an Ebony magazine, a Chris Rock DVD called Bigger and Blacker, Magnum condoms, Newport cigarettes, a rack of ribs, the recipe for cornbread. It was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Icing on the cake, we find a greeting card that's on clearance from Halloween, and it has a picture of 3 ghosts on the cover wearing sheets. I tear off the half that says Happy Halloween, and on the back of the card I write, welcome to Fresno, love the Chamber of Commerce. And we stick it to the basket. We made it all nice and pretty, and we haul ass to the hotel. We pull up, we walk in. The basket is hot as hell, so I'm racing in. I get inside and I put it on the counter as fast as I can, bro. It's too perfect. There's a black girl behind the front desk. As soon as I put the basket down, I hear... Is that chicken? Ooh, let me see. Hold on. What is it? Let me explain. My name is Gabriel. This is Martin. We're a couple of comedians, and we're about to play a really crazy practical joke on a friend of ours who's staying here tonight by the name of G. Riley, who's also a comedian. Oh, the one that's on the signs on the freeway. Yeah, the one that's on the signs on the freeway. So as a practical joke, we went to the store and we made this messed up racist gift basket. That's why you can smell fried chicken. And she was like, what? You need Jesus, that's what you need. Kiki, girl, you better hang up that phone. You ain't gonna believe what I'm looking at over here, girl. Listen, we think it would be hysterical if we could have you deliver the basket for us. She lost it. Oh, the hell you didn't. I know you didn't just ask me to take that to a black man. You are out your damn mind. Oh, Lord, give me the strength to not kill this big-ass Mexican over here, Lord. Okay, look here, Nacho Libre. I don't care who you are. I am not doing it. Hell no. I'll give you $50. Where that motherfucker at? We follow her to the hotel room. She knocks on the door. Martin and I hide by the elevator on the floor. She knocks. She opens the door, sees a beautiful black woman standing there with a gift basket. This is for you, baby. He says, thank you, closes the door. She walks away and she sees us on the ground hiding, right? And she's like, y'all still going to hell. We get up and we walk over to the door and we put our ear. Listen, listen. This is what we hear inside. Woo! Chicken. Oh, Kool-Aid. He's getting excited over every single item he's pulling out of the basket. He gets to the greeting card. Welcome to Fresno. Love the Chamber of Commerce. Hell yeah. Then we feel him flipping the card over because his voice changed. He's like, oh yeah, man, this is, what the f? Outside the door, we heard racist bastards. When we heard racist bastards, we lost it. Housekeeping is freaking out.
¿Qué está pasando allá? ¿Qué andan haciendo ustedes? Muchacho, ¿qué está pasando, gordito? ¿Qué andas haciendo?
We're laughing, we're crying, we got boogers coming out. We can't take it anymore. We knock on the door. He yells, who is it? Too easy. Chamber of Commerce. He rushes the door. I put my finger on the peephole so he can't see who it is, right? The knob starts to jiggle, then the door explodes open and he's like, what? And he sees us and he's like, ah! What's up, G? Man, y'all give a brother a heart attack. Did you like your basket? Man, that was messed up. Did you like it? Man, I love all that shit. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a story that has been 7 years in the making. I would like for you to now hear, for the first time ever, the other side of that story. Ladies and gentlemen, I flew him here to Hawaii so that he can share this with you. Give it up for my friend, Mr. G. Riley.
I gotta be honest, I didn't know it was racist. I thought it was lunch. I thought it was lunch. I didn't know it was racist till I got back to my neighborhood. And the brothers in my neighborhood looked at me. They say, man, I don't believe you let that Mexican guy do that to you, man. That was messed up. I know you got him back. I said, what, buy him lunch? I can't afford to buy that man lunch. If I buy him lunch, he'll be getting me again. But see, you gotta understand, it was the perfect set of circumstances when it happened. Because I'm laying across the bed in the hotel. I had never been to Fresno before. And I wanted something to eat, and I didn't know where to go eat. So I'm laying across the bed, and I'm saying to myself, where could I go eat? I wish I had some food. And all of a sudden, magically, there's a knock on the door, and a black girl shows up with a gift basket. And I took the gift basket, and I said, they know how to treat their comedians up here in Fresno. And I'm walking to the bed, and I could feel the heat, and I could smell the chicken from the gift basket. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Because nobody smells chicken and thinks of racism, right? Right, so I see the watermelon. I'm like, oh, this is cool. They know how to treat a comedian up in here. I get to the card, and I look at the card, and I go, what the is going on? I said, oh, my God, I'm working for the Ku Klux Klan. And I really started to panic because in my head, I'm saying to myself, is this for real? Because there were billboards all over the city with my picture. And I started thinking they were trying to scare me out of town. So now I don't know what to do, right? And I start trying to call the promoter, and the promoter's not answering the phone, and it's festering in my head, and I'm nervous, and I'm pacing in the room, and all of a sudden there's a knock on the door, right? And I go, oh my God, they come to get me. So I ease over to the door, right? And I look through the peephole, right? And all I see is a brown dot, right? And I go, I hear somebody out there because I hear the breathing, right? I hear. So this was about 60 pounds ago, right? So I go to look down up under the door, right? But I said, oh my God, it got to be about 5 or 6 of them out there. Oh my God. Like this. I figure, okay, you know what? If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You know, if it's gonna happen, I'm gonna go down swinging, right? So I put my best black face on. You know, I tried to look mean. You know, I look like this guy right here. I look like that guy right there, right? And I go, who is it? And they go, Chamber of Commerce. And I'm like, oh my God, the Chamber of Commerce is the Ku Klux Klan. And I'm panicking, so I get to the door, right? And I pull the door open, and when the door opens up, these guys are falling all over the hall, laughing at me. They're rolling all into the cleaning lady's car. The cleaning lady didn't know what was going on, right? She's scared to death because she sees a black dude with no shirt like this, so she grabs the lemon pledge like it's pepper spray, right? She's ready to get... So everything, now that I realize it's a practical joke, everything calms down, because I remember how hungry I was. I'm like, okay, cool. Practical joke, right? So I go in the bathroom to wash my hands. While I'm in the bathroom washing my hands, I hear a commotion in the other room, right? I go back in the other room. They're going through the gift basket. The maid is leaving with the watermelon. Martina's drinking my 40. And this bastard is eating my chicken! I'm out of here!
is duro. Let's flash the camera. And it wasn't until we walked over to this photo that my buddy Armando and I realized something about ourselves. Oh, and by the way, thank you to whoever brought the chocolate cakes in the back. I got them right before the show. Thank you very much. Very cool. Somebody brought Chico's tacos too. I thought that was great. Now, you guys here know what I'm talking about, but everybody that's watching at home, they're like, Chico's tacos? Oh, what the hell's that? It's an El Paso tradition. If you come to El Paso, just know that that's right here. That's the tradition in El Paso. I ran into people in other places like Chicago and New York. I'm like, where are you from? El Paso. And I say, Chico's Tacos. And they're like, oh. Like, wow, yeah, that's hardcore. It is the craziest food I've ever tried, you guys. Craziest ever. Reason is, they give you these little taquitos and there's like a sauce and you pour it and like the taquitos float and then it absorbs and I never thought I'd see the day where I could drink a taco. Yeah. And you gotta have that at the end of the night. Don't try to freaking plan out events after going, They'll say, oh, we're gonna eat at Chico's and then go to the movies. No, don't do that, don't do that. You'll be sitting there like, hey, this is a good movie, huh? This is the one where Nicolas Cage comes out and... Anyway, he plays the bad guy in this movie and it turns out really good. Then all of a sudden, you're running by people. They're like, Chicos. El Paso tradition. You know what's funny? Is that a year from now, there'll be people watching this all over the world. Just like the first DVDs in Canada, Australia, and Europe, this DVD will wind up somewhere in Australia. And there'll be people in Australia going, what the hell's Chico's? Crocky, we gotta go. We gotta see Chico's. You watch, man. People freaking out. I say, we must go try Chico's. It sounds splendid. Yes, it does. Drink a taco. I never thought I'd see the day. I'm going to try it. El Paso it is. So then she walks me into the doctor's office. I sit down, doctor walks in, and we spoke for an hour. In a nutshell, what he says is that he wants to take my stomach, which in his opinion is the size of an NFL football, and he wants to cut it and make it the size of a hard-boiled egg. Therefore, you only eat this much and you lose weight with time. Problem with gastric bypass is that if you don't stick to their program religiously, not only will you not lose weight, you will gain weight, and you'll have a series of complications. And then he asks, do you travel a lot? I'm like, I'm on the road 46 weeks out of the year. He goes, this is not gonna work for you. I'm like, I agree, I like 2 eggs. I said, well, what should I do? He goes, I don't know, but this isn't gonna work. So I left the office. I was bummed out, you guys. I get in my car. I was so depressed because I'm like, someone told me I got 2 years to live. Surgery's my last hope. And so I started crying. I was sad. I was in the car. I'm crying. I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? And the only thing that could cheer me up was a drive-through. And I know that sounds crazy. Some of you are like,
Isn't that what got you in that position to begin with?
yes, but it's the only thing that made sense. There's a reason why it's called comfort food. Think about that. Anytime you see someone eating a burger, they never look sad. They always look happy. You might look sad walking in, you might look sad walking out, but when the actual event of eating a burger is happening, life couldn't be better. That's right. My girl told me that I make sounds when I eat burgers. I didn't know. Apparently I do. I'm eating a burger and I'm like, She was like, are you eating that or are you eating that? Think about it. Who's sad when they're eating fast food? I'll tell you who's sad. The person eating a salad watching someone eat fast food. That's who's sad. So I pull up to this fast food restaurant with a big M on it. And the guy in the speaker's like, may I help you? And I'm crying. I'm like, you have no idea. What I eventually wound up doing, you guys, is I started low carbing. Now, I am not eating healthy by no means, okay? I still eat fast food every single day. And people question it.
How do you eat fast food and lose 100 pounds?
I'll give you an example. I'll go to a burger place and I'll order a double cheeseburger. I won't eat the bread. I won't eat the onions, the tomato, the ketchup. I'll eat the meat, the cheese, the mayo, the mustard, and I'll order up to 3 with like 3 diet sodas. And people go,
That's unhealthy. The cholesterol's gonna kill you.
I agree.
but guess what? Cholesterol is gonna take 10 years to kill me. Diabetes is gonna do it in 2. Right now, I'm winning by 8. Hell yeah, that's called fluffy math, bro. There's a lot of people mad in here right now.
Fluffy found a loophole.
Yes. So I started low carbing, I started doing yoga, and I know that sounds like a joke right there. Yeah, some of you are like, he means yogurt. No, yoga. Freaking DDP helped me, and then I started lifting weights, and it's kind of hard for me, guys, because now I have people at my shows telling me,
We're noticing there's a little difference. You're a little less fluffy. What's gonna happen if you keep losing weight? What are we gonna call you? What are we gonna call you?
I lift weights, call me Buffy, I don't care. The point is that I'm not trying to lose weight for vanity's sake. I'm very secure. The point is that I'm trying to lose weight so I can be around for my family, so I can be around for my friends, and so I can be around for you.
I will tell you, though, that I did not handle the breakup well. She was, in fact, the first breakup, like real. She was my first true love. I'll just say it. She was my first true love. And I did not handle it well. You're supposed to have your heart broken when you're like 12. When you have your first crush. That's when you're supposed to have your first heartache, not in your 40s. It's supposed to be when you're young, when you're little, when you're resilient, you know? You're like, you realize it's not going to work out, so you're devastated. No! And yeah. Not when you're in your 40s. So, without divulging too much information, let me just tell you that when everything was finalized, I was at the gas station and I got a text message basically saying, everything's been signed, it's official, it's turned in. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. I get in the car, I start the car, and then I put it in drive. And that's when it hit. That's when it became real. That's when it was like, oh my God, I can no longer go home. That's no longer an option. I have messed things up. I can no longer go back to what I called home. I have to restart my life right then and there at the gas station. And I had a full-blown meltdown. And some of you know that my tour came to an end a while back, and people were wondering, is it drugs? Is it alcohol? Is it mental health? I was going through my first breakup. How was I supposed to be an effective comedian when I couldn't stop crying? You know what I mean? It was like, it was bad. And you guys have heard the shows before. You know I never bring this up. It was the lowest point of my life. I had never felt so sad, weak, vulnerable, depressed, lonely, everything all rolled into one. And it was at the lowest point of my life that I found that's right, country music. Country music knows when you're sad. Country music knows when you're weak. Country music knows when you're vulnerable and you need something to fill the void. I used to fight off country music. I used to look at country music in the face and tell country, you could take your ache, you break your heart, you keep on moving. But not today. Let me tell you what's going on. I'm in the car and I'm crying so much. My tears are rolling down my cheek and they're blending with my snot. They're blending with my mocos. My tears are blending with my mocos and then blending with my babas, with my drool. I have 3 different fluids coming out of my face at the same time. My neck looked like menudo. It was bad. All I needed was a pinche limón y cebolla. That's it, right there. I am making ugly sounds, and I don't want to hear myself, so I turn on the stereo, and I started hitting buttons, and it lands on the country station. And I knew immediately that it was country music I was listening to, and I did not try to change the station because I figured, you know what? I deserve to suffer more for the mistakes I made and the people I hurt. So I let it play and play and play and play. I listened to country music for over an hour, and I came to this conclusion. Country music has at least one song that will speak to your heart directly because you feel like the artist wrote the song specifically about you and your life because of how detailed the songs are. Oh yeah, my hat's off to country music singers and artists. You guys, you know how to do something very well, and it's not till you experience a certain time of your life that it makes sense. I'm in that car bawling, and all of a sudden on the radio I hear this. It's been 7 days since you seen her. How does he know it's been 7 days since I've seen her? You just can't get her off your mind. 'Cause every little thing that you do or say is another reason you pushed her away. And now you're sitting in your car all alone. What does he do? Make it stop! And it doesn't stop. It keeps kicking you on the ground, reminding you what a piece of crap you are. You should have gone home and locked the door, but you was outside being a whore. And now you're sitting in your car all alone. I've been starstruck many, many times. As a matter of fact, this past year, I got to meet one of my childhood heroes. I got to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, some of you are clapping, some of you are like, wait. Well, here's the thing. I didn't love him as a politician, and I was too young to know him as a bodybuilder. All I knew is the movie Terminator was my favorite movie, and he was the Terminator. So
Here's the story. I'm in LA at this red carpet event for some movie that I still haven't seen. I'm standing there with my publicist, okay? I'm standing there with my publicist, and she's explaining to me how the red carpet works.
Listen, Gabriel, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna go down the red carpet, and then the paparazzi's gonna start taking photos of you, and then someone's gonna ask you some questions. It's a lot of fun. Then we'll go inside, and then we'll go to the after party. It's gonna be great.
As she's telling me this, I'm looking around, and I look over and I notice, I see him. I see Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I freak out.
Relax, relax. You've never met Arnie?
I said, no, I've never met Arnie.
I work with him all the time. He's really nice. Would you like me to introduce you?
I'm like,
Yes.
she takes me by the hand and she walks me directly to Arnold. I'm freaking out so bad, I look like a big ass toddler. We get over to Arnold Schwarzenegger's area, and he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's already got a big group of people around him waiting to take a photo. So I'm just patiently waiting. As I'm watching him, you guys, I gotta tell you right now, no one on this planet is better at meeting people than Arnold Schwarzenegger. He is the greatest people meter I've ever witnessed. And the reason I say this is because when you meet him, he's very engaging. He grabs your hand, he pulls you in, he looks at you in the eyes, and he turns it on. When you meet Arnold, you get exactly what you think you're gonna get. It's awesome to watch. You know? How are you? So nice to meet you. You're so strong. You pump iron. Hey, look at you. This is incredible. Got these lights and this red carpet. This is incredible. Excuse me. How are you? Hey, you're so strong. You pump iron. This is incredible. Look at you. People are walking away from him, looking at their hand. They're looking at their hand, you guys. 10 minutes I'm watching Arnold Schwarzenegger light people up. And then I noticed something else. I noticed that Arnold has a handler, a guy who stands right behind him. And it's this guy's job to basically reset Arnold for the next person he's about to meet. Arnold Schwarzenegger will never cut off a conversation with the fan. The guy behind him listens in on the conversation, and he determines when enough is enough, and then he signals Arnold to cut it off and move on. Here's the signal. He grabs the back of Arnold's arm right there, 2 times. 1, 2. That lets Arnold know, cut it off, time to move on. Always to the left. Awesome to watch. This is incredible what these lights and these special effects is going on here. Excuse me, how are you? Nice to meet you. You're so strong. Hey! I'm like, oh. So I yell out to the handler, hey! And the handler turns around. Hit him! I want to meet him. Hit him! And he starts laughing because now he sees that I see how the Terminator is really working. So he gives me one of these. Next thing you know, he is lighting Arnold up. He is hitting Arnold so fast, Arnold can barely keep up. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, hello, how are you? Excuse me, pardon me, high five, high five, high five, high five, high five, pardon me, excuse me, hello, how are you? Very good. Pound, 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 pound. He's coming down the line, coming down the line, coming down the line, and I'm just waiting. And I stick my hand out and he grabbed it. How are you? Son, I recognize you. I know who you are. You're the comedian who does the joke about the Indian man trying to rob a bank, but he cannot rob the bank because they are making fun of him. And in my head, I'm like, he knows me! Outside, I'm like, yeah, that's me. You are hysterical. Give me your contact information. You are the funniest person. Excuse me. How are you? Nice to meet you. You're so strong. Meeting Arnold is like a really good roller coaster. You want to go to the end and meet him one more time. You know what I'm saying?